Now you're watching the Newshour at 9 with me, Kritsween, Walia. Ladies and gentlemen, from the national capital to Telangana, the law seems to be closing in on the key players in the excise policy scam case. The Enforcement Directorate today arrested former Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia after grilling him for over 8 hours inside the Tihar jail. This, remember, was the second round of questioning on part of the Enforcement Directorate. The agency previously questioned him on the 7th of March for over 5 hours. Sisodia was questioned on charges of alleged destruction of evidence by changing his phones frequently, on why he used SIM cards purchased in the name of others, on how Aam Aadmi Party allegedly used scam money to fund Goa campaign, on also changing profit margin for wholesalers from 5% to 12%. Questions were also asked to him on the alleged kickbacks to the tune of 100 crore rupees paid by the South Group to Vijay Nair on behalf of Aam Aadmi Party leaders. His arrest comes just a day before, though, his bail hearing is to take place in the CBI court in the liquor scam case, and this has the Aam Aadmi Party fuming already. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has hit out at the centre, alleging it was the BJP's mission to keep Sisodia in jail. Kejriwal says that a new concocted charge was being framed against Sisodia by the agencies, but the people of the country are watching and they will give a befitting answer to the BJP. Meanwhile, Sisodia also penned an emotional letter from inside Tihar jail after his arrest, claiming that even as the Aam Aadmi Party was focusing on politics of education, the BJP was indulging in misuse of power by sending netas to jail. Even as Manish Sisodia has already been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate, the next on the agency's radar is KCR's daughter, the front man for Kavita in the liquor scam. According to the statement given to the Enforcement Directorate in November 2022, Arun Pillai had revealed that Kavita and the Aam Aadmi Party had an understanding and that he had represented Kavita in the firm Indo Spirits. Remember, Sameer Mahendru is the owner of the firm and is behind the bars as we speak. However, Kavita has refused all of these charges against her and has alleged vendetta politics by the centre.
मैं ये लोगों के सामने, जनता के सामने आज रखना चाहती हूँ, क्योंकि ये मेरे अकेले का मुद्दा नहीं है. हमारे खुद के पार्टी में मिनिमम 15-16 लोगों को, एमएलएस को, एमपीस को, मिनिस्टर्स को टारगेट करके अलग अलग केसेस में बुलाने का काम कर रहे हैं. तो मेरा मोदी जी से, बीजेपी से एक ही विनती है कि आप जनता के पास जाइए. आपने किस तरीके का डेवलपमेंट किया है, तेलंगाना के लिए आपने क्या किया है, देश के लिए आपने क्या किया है, वो बताइए. उनका दिल जीतिए, बाद में इलेक्शन जीतिए. लेकिन हम इलेक्शन हारेंगे या जीतेंगे, एनफोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट यूज करेंगे, बैकडोर से गवर्नमेंट में आएंगे, इस तरीके का तो हमने देख लिया है. 9 राज्यों में चला है और तेलंगाना में वो चल नहीं पाया. उन्होंने कोशिश किया है लेकिन हमने चलने नहीं दिया. तो इसीलिए उनका अभी एफर्ट ये है कि किसी भी तरीके से ईडी डाल दो, धमका दो, डरा दो. लेकिन हम भी मोदी जी से और भारतीय जनता पार्टी से और पूरे देश की जनता से बता दें कि हम डरने वालों से नहीं हैं. हम एक आंदोलन करके स्टेट को हासिल करके आज स्टेट में सरकार चला रहे हैं. आगे चल के भी हम जनता के लिए ही काम करेंगे.
Well, the fast-track action by the agencies in the liquor scam case has sparked a massive political war of words between the BJP and the opposition. The opposition maintains that the agencies are swinging into action only in election IPs.
అయితే జుమ్లా చేసి ప్రజల్ని మోసం చేయడం, గారడీ చేయడం, డ్రామా చేయడం లేదా హమ్లా.
आज मैं पूछना चाहता हूं आपसे, 95% of the cases that have been filed are against the opposition parties. क्या बीजेपी में सभी के सभी राजा हरिश्चंद्र के भाई और चचेरे भाई है क्या? And I am alleging directly, Gautam Adani is proxy of Narendra Modi. The double engine he talks about, the economic engine is Adani, the political engine is Modi.
मैं एक ही सवाल करना चाहता हूं. आज तेलंगाना जनता को अपमान हो रहे, तेलंगाना महिला को अपमान हो रहे. एक महिला के ऊपर लिखकर केस लगाते क्या? एक मुख्यमंत्री बेटी के ऊपर लिखकर केस लगाती क्या? मुख्यमंत्री बेटी है तो एक्ट अलग है क्या? कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अलग है क्या?
The legitimate question is law closing in on the big fish? Is the case against the bigwigs watertight enough? And what's next for the custodians of Imandari? Let's quickly open this up on the debate this evening.
At 9, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Well, being joined by Syed Zafar Islam, national spokesperson of the BJP, along with author Karan Verma and political analyst Mithun Vijay Kumar. We also have political analyst Dr. Suman C. Raman, BRS leader Khalikur Rahman and political analyst Tehseen Poonawala joining us completes the panel. Let me quickly first up begin by asking Mr. Khalikur Rahman, because we'll come to what's happened with regards to Manish Sisodia. The Enforcement Directorate in the latest development has arrested Manish Sisodia as well, and questions being asked on why this has happened just a day before his bail plea was to be heard. But before that, I want to ask you about this whole campaign that is being run by the BRS. They too say this is political vendetta, it's a witch hunt by the BJP. It's in fact being done because we decided to stage a protest in Jantar Mantar on the 10th, and hence the ED summons can be well timed and well read into with regards to the protest that we decided on. But you're not talking about the claims that have been made by Arun Pillai, by Sameer Mahendru as per the Enforcement Directorate prosecution complaint.
Yeah, if you look at the timing of the summons of the ED, which was issued to our leader Kavitaji, this shows that the government of India, the BJP parties, was totally rattled with the protest on the women reservation bill. And now coming to the liquor gate, what you're talking about, let me clarify that Kavitaji has got nothing to do with that. And today, in a very loud and clear terms, she has said that in the press conference also, and also while she was talking to, the different channels. So there is no question of Kavitaji's involvement anywhere. It is only, on the here and say that the ED or the CBI are more than that. It's the BJP leaders who are trying to frame the leaders of the opposition parties.
But can we ignore the signs? And by signs, I mean the claims as per the ED prosecution complaint that have been made by Arun Pillai. Because remember, she's been summoned right after Arun Pillai's arrest. And remember what is being stated by the Enforcement Directorate. The allegation is that Arun Pillai represented her business, that Arun Pillai acted as Benami for K. Kavita. Isn't that true? And even if it's not true, sir, we need to get to the bottom of this. Let the questioning happen. If there's nothing to fear, then why fear the questioning?
Who is fearing? Who is fearing? It is, on the contrary, it was BL Santosh of BJP when he was asked to, come and appear before the SIT inquiry here. He, in fact, went to the court and he, skipped about five summons, and he did not even bother.
But why did she need a week's time? Why did she need a week's time to appear before the agency, sir?
See, she's an active political leader. She has got already the pre-commitments. And
it's not,
look at the timing.
Mr. Khalikur Rahman, it's not as though she's not been questioned in the case previously. It was in the month of December last year when the CBI also summoned her. She did appear before the agency.
Absolutely. And she has already given every single reply to the CBI officials, and whatever information they wanted, they have collected from her, and she has given everything to them. And now, coming to the ED is a new thing, and she's not, trying to evade or skip this thing. She said that she needs time, because since already there was a contest which was scheduled. The protest which was scheduled to be held in Delhi on 10th. So because of that, she wanted the date of the ED to be extended. So this is, I think it is just BJP seem to be more and more interested in simply framing the opposition leaders, because they want to divert the attention of the people from the price rise, from the employment, what they had promised, the 15 lakh rupees, and the corruption charges against the BJP leaders. What happened recently in Karnataka, you see, 8 crores rupees.
Okay, none of those claims that have been made by the Enforcement Directorate in its prosecution complaint can be taken at face value. Karan, are you convinced with what Mr. Khalikur Rahman is saying? Because, I just began with a couple of claims. There's a whole huge list to it, especially with regards to the collusion between the alleged collusion between the Aam Aadmi Party and the South lobby. How both of them were walking hand in hand. Everybody was in the know-how of what was happening, and not to forget the 100 crore rupee kickback. in lieu of which details of the draft excise policy were shared with the South lobby.
You know, not a word said by Mr. Rahman about the merits of the case. It's so easy to come back to this retort that there's politics of vendetta being practiced. If you are squeaky clean, put out your comments on each and every point. Why is Sameer Mahendru mentioning your name? Why did he confess and said that Kavita is behind all of this? I mean, Sameer Mahendru is the owner of Indo Spirits. Look, it seems a very well organized syndicate where they put in many layers in place so that they would not be caught, but the long arm of the law catches up. Till a few months back, everybody was in denial of the liquor scam. Today we know for sure that the Delhi government lost around 2,800 crores because of this excise policy where they flouted norm after norm of their own committee. Now we know when the ED has worked hard to actually go for the money trail, now we know how this cartel was formed, how businessmen, wholesalers, manufacturers, they came together to frame this policy, to increase the wholesale margins from 5% to 12.5%, and how the ED is working tirelessly to establish this money trail. All I'm saying is, before jumping to conclusions, Kavita must come and face the law. If she is squeaky clean, fine, face the law, answer the tough
Must come and face the law, but there are complaints that the BRS Karan has with the BJP saying that it's the poll stunt, the famous poll stunt by the BJP to put the agencies to use, to send them away to several parts of the country, especially in election season. So I'll let Mr. Syed Zafar Islam respond to that charge.
So why don't you blunt the BJP's narrative? Come clean and blunt the BJP's narrative. Occupy the high
Okay, come and face the law, come and face the investigating agencies. Point taken, Karan. Mr. Islam.
Well, people who have committed crime, they will have to face the law of the land. Irrespective of their position, their association, how powerful they are, what is the position of strength they are enjoying, it doesn't matter. Law treats everyone as equals, and so everyone will be questioned who are guilty in front of the law, and there is a clear-cut case against Kavita ji purely because she has committed a crime. She was not only a silent partner, she was the real architect of the entire Benami transaction where kickback was more than 100 crore was accepted, where she was represented by two people as the stakeholder in that company. So the beneficiary, ultimate beneficiary was Kavita. And that is something which is now, Mahendru has also admitted, that is something which is now, she will have to answer because every single piece of information is available with the agency, and agency doesn't call anyone. Agency calls only those who have done something wrong and responsible for some crime which has been committed. And if they feel that they are clean, they should not worry. As you rightly pointed out, why there is a fear when they have not committed a crime? They are fearing purely because they know that for sure that they have committed something which is against the law of the land, and especially
K. Kavita, and that's exactly what the Enforcement Directorate wants to find out. And if there's nothing to fear, why run away from the investigation? I see Tehseen wanting to make a point, but before that, quickly wanting Khaliqur Rahman to respond to that charge.
No, but I want to ask you, who is running away from the investigation? Who is running away from the investigation?
Sir, K. Kavita is calling this an intimidation tactic on part of the BJP and the agency.
It's an intimidation.
But it was her who asked the agency to come to her residence to question her. She was trying to set the rules. She was trying to narrate to the agency that you should come to my house and thereafter the questioning will begin.
Can I just take
that whenever any agency is questioning a woman, supposed to go and
I'll come back to you, Mr. Islam. Hold on.
place. Yeah, even there is a law that whenever any agency is questioning a woman, that the agency is supposed to go and visit the women's house and take the statement. But since she said that she is fully ready to cooperate, and there is no way that she's trying to escape.
And that's exactly what I'm saying, Mr. Khaliqur Rahman. If she's fully ready to cooperate, she's going to have to face the investigating agency. She's going to have to answer the officials. Thereafter, even if she's kept back, even if the Enforcement Directorate arrests her, the matter is going to be taken up by the courts, and thereafter the courts will decide whether or not she will be given, the enforcement directorate will be given her custody or not, whether or not she'll be sent to judicial custody or not. I'm not quite trying to jump the gun, but the fact remains that this attempt to call this an intimidation tactic on part of the agencies is something that doesn't quite make sense at this particular point in the investigation. Tehseen wants to come in. Tehseen.
But unfortunately,
Kirsten, can I please make my points?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Kirsten, I have a new name for the ED. I call it BD, Bajrang Dal. It's an extended arm of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and it does magic, jadoo. It runs a dry cleaning service, and instead of searching for money laundering, it does laundry service for the Bharatiya Janata Party, where anyone who's supposed to have done anything that can challenge the BJP politically, this agency, like a true arm of the BJP, comes out there and catches people or tries to intimidate them. Now, I am not saying Ms. Kavita is innocent or Manish Sisodia is innocent. I think the Delhi liquor scam, a lot has to be answered. I think there are lots of questions to be answered. But here is the magic, Kristen, and you have to hear this magic. There is a gentleman called Himanta Biswa Sharma. I'm sure everyone on this show has heard of him. The BJP writes a letter saying that this man should be investigated. ED starts an investigation. He comes into the BJP, the magic starts and the investigation stops. There's another gentleman called Mukul Roy. Magic is even better here.
Okay.
Investigation starts. Let me finish. He goes to the BJP, investigation stops. He goes back to the TMC, investigation starts. Same for Ajit Pawar. So my request to Mr. Rahman is if KCR's daughter comes to BJP, investigation will stop. But let me give you hard facts and data before I end. The ED has conducted 121 raids under the great leadership since 2014. 115 from the opposition. Only 5 from those from the BJP and its allies. And you know what? Before I end, a BJP MLA's son was caught with money. Money was found in his house by a competent authority, a constitutional body. Overnight, courts came in, said you cannot discuss this case. So me discussing this case could even amount to contempt of court actually. And this MLA is said that he is just because cash is found does not make him guilty, even though a constitutional body is found case. And here the BJP spokesperson is saying Ms. Kavita is already guilty when whether there is a money link or no, it will be proved. So I am amazed
so a
by
series
this
of
magic.
questions. The washing machine charge being levelled by Tehseen Poonawalla once again, as is being levelled by several in the opposition. That question is asked very often to the BJP. So once again, letting Syed Zafar Islam respond to that. What about Suvendu Adhikari, Mukul Roy, Himanta Biswa Sarma, sir?
absolutely.
What explains this double standard on part of the BJP?
There is absolutely no merit. There is absolutely no double standard. Every case is dealt on the basis of merit of each case. Whenever the agency requires to interrogate or investigate or summon, they are free to do it. We do not interfere in their workings. They are miles away from us in terms of government interfering in their work. They have certain documents. Based on that, they pursue some further investigation to unearth if there is any merit in what they are pursuing. But let me ask them.
But
these
Mr. Syed Zafar Islam, these questions will also have to be asked. I didn't want to digress all that much. I want to keep my focus to K. Kavita and to Manish Sisodia. But the fact remains, and if I may be allowed to go into the details, sir, 2016 is the Narda scam, wherein the sting of Suvendu and others allegedly taking bribe came to light. 2020, he joined the BJP. Action was taken against several other accused in the case, but Suvendu Adhikari was not arrested. Same goes for Mukul Roy. Narda scam, sting of Roy and others allegedly taking bribe, joins the BJP in 2021. Several others arrested. No action against Roy. What explains this?
Of allegation and criticizing our government. Let me ask them. Let me pose this question: when they were in their own party, if they felt that they were guilty, if at all they felt they were guilty, why didn't they remove them from the party? Why they were defending them? Only when we realized that those people who are not responsible for committing crime, they have, based on the investigation by ED, there was nothing against them. They have joined the party. But if they felt that they were responsible for committing crime, they should have thrown them out of the party. None of them have done it. Only because they have joined BJP, they are making this kind of allegation. Had they been really honest, they would have first taken action against those people if they felt that they were the guilty. They didn't do that. So they have
for another day, because Tehseen will keep countering you, you will keep countering him, and that's not going to lead us to anything, nor will it give our viewers any clarity, because we want to really focus on the developments that are taking place. Tomorrow the bail plea is going to be heard. The BRS is staging a protest, so it's something that we're really watching out for. But Dr. Sumansi Raman, since you've not opened up as yet with your remarks, I really want to talk about, this parallel investigation that is on part of the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate. How is it that both the Aam Aadmi Party and the BRS continue to speak in one voice, continue to call it political vendetta, wherein there is glaring evidence that is being put out by the CBI, by the Enforcement Directorate, and even if you don't want to believe that it is strong enough in evidence, these are charges, these are questions being asked, answer those questions, come out clean, walk away. I mean, there is a profit margin that's been hiked from 5% to 12% and no answers whatsoever, sir.
By the ED and arrested to prevent him from coming out if he does get bail as is expected tomorrow. And I said this 2 days ago.
Raman, in all fairness, that's what the Aam Aadmi Party also predicted when he was first summoned by the CBI, that he's going to be arrested, and that's why perhaps made him sign a resignation letter as well before sending him off.
It's so predictable, Kritsween. It's so predictable. You remember what happened to Siddiq Kappan? Siddiq Kappan gets bail, and then he's, on the day he gets bail or the day before that, he's arrested by the ED.
Set 10th of March as the bail plea hearing date.
He's out
and
now.
Sent him to judicial custody and gave him an extended custody to the CBI for another 2 days.
So
there has to be some evidence, some merit in the case for the courts to also not rule in his favor, don't you think?
One second. One second, Kritsween. Manish Sisodia's house has been searched, his office has been searched, his lockers have been searched. Now this seems to be a strange case of money laundering where the money is still not, known where the money trail is. Now, people say, somebody said I gave 100 crore, that 100 crore must be somewhere, right? Now, whose account is this 100 crore sitting in? If it's sitting in Kavita's account or in Manish Sisodia's account, why is the ED not producing evidence of that? So, I think that this is...
this takes us back to the first counter-argument that came in from the Aam Aadmi Party. Where is the evidence? Karan, would you want to come in? Because Mithun Vijay Kumar has also been waiting patiently before I go across to him. One quick answer from you, because searches have happened, documents have been looked at, no incriminating evidence, no cash recovery whatsoever. Dr. Sumansi Raman is saying, where's the evidence? It's a he said, she said, that's been ongoing for the longest time.
Can I finish?
Okay, Dr. Sumansi Raman, quickly make your point and then I'll have to go across to others.
Last sentence.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I really like the humor of Zafar Islam Saab for having said that the ED only goes after the right people who need to be picked up. That tallies with the conviction rate of 0.5%, right? So I really appreciate his sense of humor.
No, but then the CBI also, and the conviction rate of CBI is pretty solid. So we're not going to go down that road. Karan wants to respond.
No, in this particular case, the ED is the one that is arrested.
Okay, Karan, go ahead.
Now can I speak, please? Can I please speak? Now, I can't believe that Dr. Sumansi Raman is so naive to believe that if money is taken, it will be kept under someone's pillow. I mean, come on, give me a break. In today's day and age, if ill-gotten cash is collected, it will be planted somewhere, or Benami properties, or a money trail will be established as per an investigation. It will be used for promotion, as was used, as is alleged, in Punjab elections and other elections. And money trail is exactly what today has been pointed out. Your wish has come true. Dr. Sumansi Raman, please be patient. It is a money trail that has been pointed out through an events management company, which was headed by Vijay Nair. And it is a confession of Sameer Mahindru, how money was distributed to Vijay Nair, how the fees was raised from 5% to 12%, how Delhi Exchequer lost 970 crores in the last quarter, and that is why, one second, now that I am exposing you, please be patient. That is why Arvind Kejriwal said in his cabinet note that because we are having loss, we are taking back this policy. Now this money doesn't disappear. This is used in properties, in intangibles, tangibles. That is how corruption is done, sir.
Either procuring SIM cards, procuring mobile phone sets in name of other people. also people closely working with you, but why not procure them or take them under your own name? Why was this evidence destroyed? Dr. Sumansi Raman and Khalikur Rahman, I want both of you to respond to that, because the ED prosecution complaint speaks of led the investigations to them. And I can quote this for you. The ED alleges large-scale destruction of digital evidence to impede the investigation and erase evidence of involvement of various accused in the case. The BRS leader's name appears in the table provided in the ED's prosecution complaint that has data of destruction of digital evidence. That charge holds valid against Manish Sisodia as well. Khalikur Rahman, quick response.
No, if the ED feels that way, then why the ED has not put a case against Kavita ji for destroying the evidence? ED should have gone ahead and put the case. Why ED is silent on that? And otherwise, why CBI is silent on that?
It's for the first time that the Enforcement Directorate has summoned K. Kavita. So we'll get to know whether or not they want to question her further, whether she's called for questioning. What happens next, we can't quite say. But yes, these are the grounds on which the Enforcement Directorate wants to question K. Kavita. It's valid enough on the face of it. So just answer all of those questions, because they're putting out detailed tables speaking of the kind of destruction of evidence that has taken place. They've not made up these numbers, right?
CBI has felt that the evidence was destroyed. Then CBI should have gone ahead and booked the case against Kavita ji for destroying the evidence. No such case was booked. It is only, and CBI has been investigating this case, and the ED has also got into it since August.
Okay. So CBI had questioned K. Kavita in the past. If CBI did find her involvement in the case and the case was pretty solid, Mithun Vijay Kumar, they would have filed a case against K. Kavita, perhaps booked her by now. Mithun Vijay Kumar.
Yeah, thanks for finally coming to me. And
I'm sorry, apologies.
I hope you will give me enough time to answer. There are plenty of, accusations and allegations being raised. So, Kritsween ji, I just heard the panelists speaking on behalf of Aam Aadmi Party or Ms. Kavita. And it's not surprising that they have taken a defensive position in this matter, because ultimately Srimati Kavita is the daughter of their Supremo and they have no choice but to defend it. But at least, please respect that our investigation agencies are doing a great job, and we should not question their investigation, the whole investigation process. They won't come up with baseless allegations and charges without doing their homework. So even though Ms. Kavita says that she's going to cooperate with the whole process, she's not doing it because, she's supposed to be quizzed along with with the person, I forgot his name. Arun Pillai. Yes. Yeah, she's going to twist along with Arun Pillai, and that has to happen simultaneously. And she's delaying the whole process. That's what you need to understand. And Mr. Tehseen calls ED Bajrang Dal. Then he has to look at the cases, that were registered before 2014. And he was, I think, Hemant Biswa Sharma's name was also mentioned here. But you need to understand that he was quizzed even after he joined BJP, and Mukul Roy was called a corrupt when he joined BJP, but he went back to TMC. Is he not corrupt now? So what is the political position that they're taking? Because if it is all about vendetta politics that you have talked, let's look back at what the Congress was doing before 2014. And I would like to answer Mr. Raman's question before going to that. He says that the conviction rate of ED is something it's very low, is what he's trying to say. But he needs to understand that there are plenty of options for criminals to escape, financial scams in this country, and there are plenty of loopholes. We need to understand that. So that's the reason why ED has a lower conviction rate. But these same people are quizzed by CBI. You need to understand that CBI has a higher conviction. Let me talk. I didn't interrupt when you were talking, right? I didn't interrupt when you were talking. When you were making claims of ED's, when you were saying about, when you were questioning about ED's conviction rate, I didn't tell that CBI's conviction rate is much above that. I didn't say that. So you need to understand that CBI has answered
that the Enforcement Directorate has statements of both Arun Pillai and also Sameer Mahendru. In fact, this is very interesting that Sameer Mahendru had stated that on his insistence, Arun Pillai had revealed that he was representing K. Kavita in Indo Spirits. Are these statements true or not is something that the Enforcement Directorate wants to find out, because you have this particular statement that says that Sameer had asked Arun Pillai that he should reveal who are the other persons behind him in Indo Spirits. He then revealed Mrs. K. Kavita, daughter of KCR, is one who he is representing. This is big in itself, and if there is any merit to this claim, that it needs to be found out. There is no justifying this. Just face the investigation.
We need to understand that the ED remand copy.
I'm really tempted to take that across to Khaliqur Rahman, but Tehseen, come in quickly.
Three crucial things about take-up.
Yeah, can I just make some very logical points? Number one, in this country, every single agency must be questioned. We are a democracy, no matter what. The fact that the ED's got such a low conviction rate says even more why it should be questioned. Number two, as Mr. Rahman very articulately put it across, if there is evidence of destruction of evidence, the ED is duty bound to arrest the person. But as you put it, Kirsten, no, this is just an allegation. Then Ms. Kavita remains innocent until proven guilty. Then she doesn't become corrupt. As the erudite spokesperson before me said,
these questions
that, okay,
that must
can I just please, Kirsten, don't break my flow, because then what happens is I lose the point. Just
let's call a spade a spade. If you're standing for the right, then you must also say today that if the investigation agencies want to find out something, they want to get to the bottom of this, then they must be allowed to do so. Because, you know, remember how earlier the CBI, in fact, in the court said that the kind of protests and dharnas that we're witnessing around this case are indirectly pressurizing the witnesses in the case.
Then you have a terrible investigation that gets investigative agency that gets pressurized. That's not the point. Let's bust the lies. Number three, they said what happened during the Congress tenure. Here is Government of India data from the Ministry of Home Affairs under Modi ji. Under the Congress, the amount of raids by CBI on opposition was 60%, on Congress and allies was 40%, ED was 51% and 49%. That's how balanced it was. And last point, which Karan made a very valid point. Karan's point was money is not going to be found under a bed. Karan is right. Money will never be found under a bed or house. Therefore, money recovery or money trail must be done. However, in cases where money is actually found and cash is found, there the court step in and say, no, merely because cash is found by an investigative agency, you cannot even discuss the case, and the court say the man is innocent.
So are you siding with the Aam Aadmi Party and perhaps with the BRS as well, that this is political vendetta? Simple question, Tehseen.
I am saying Delhi liquor scam must be answered. But the answers to that cannot be putting every opposition person in jail, and someone like Ajit Pawar, who is guilty when he is in NCP, then comes to BJP and becomes Deputy Chief Minister, is not guilty, then goes back to NCP and is guilty. How does this magic work? Okay. If ED is not working like BD, perhaps it's working like, I don't know what, a laundry service.
Okay. Dr. Sumansi Raman, would you want to come in? Because, you know, these are allegations that are being levelled against both Manish Sisodia and K. Kavita, and these are very serious in nature. Remember, we're not just talking...
Logically, let's look at it very clearly. Statements made by anybody which are not corroborated with hard evidence carry very little value. I can say I gave you 100 crores. Now, unless that 100 crore or evidence of transfer of 100 crores into some account linked to you is found, my saying I gave you 100 crores does not carry any weight. So anybody under duress, under stress during interrogation can be
100 crores not found. Point given, Dr. Sumansi Raman. But now, why is it that the expert committee recommendations were not taken seriously?
One moment.
Why is it that the GOM report eventually that came out saw 12% profit margin at the end of the day? Aren't these questions that must be answered, sir? This is very, very questionable, and it's not quite adding up. It's confusing everybody. It's very convoluted, and answers must be given. Karan wants to come in. Karan. A quick response from you and then
according
from
to Dr.
Mr.
Rahman,
Said Zafar Islam,
confessions don't matter in an investigation. I mean, here is a confession coming from Samir Mahindru. Tomorrow it might be recorded under CRPC 164.
Anybody can confess anything, sir. It has to be corroborated.
Okay, it has to be corroborated. Anybody can confess anything, which takes me back to Said Zafar Islam and to the question that Tehseen had asked Mr. Said Zafar Islam about the likes of Mukul Roy, about the likes of Suvendu Adhikari. Sir, that's why the questions today are being asked of the BJP, because in the past we've seen instances wherein somebody in the opposition suddenly has been given a clean sheet by switching over to the BJP. That's why perhaps this window today exists. And I say this because though you are talking about, you know, how he was questioned, and I'm talking about Mr. Mukul Roy, how he was questioned after joining the BJP, there's a catch to this. In May 2021, CBI said it had found nothing so far against Mukul Roy, who switched from the Trinamool Congress to the BJP. The Trinamool Congress and the Lok Sabha TMC member Aparupa Podar as well, in 2014 Narda sting tape case, while its application seeking sanction to prosecute 4 others, including Suvendu Adhikari, was pending with the Lok Sabha Speaker for over 2 years. What explains this delay then? And that's why the opposition today is uniting against the BJP and putting out that question to the BJP, that there are enough reasons to believe that this is something that the BJP does and has done in the past.
Kritsween, can I answer this?
No, well, let me ask them a very simple question. What are they trying to hide? It is not for the BJP to pronounce judgment. It is not for the BJP to pronounce anyone guilty. It is the responsibility of the agencies. They are having some evidence. They are pursuing to unearth more and more evidence and prosecute anyone who is responsible for committing crime. Where is the BJP coming here? We are not interfering in their work, and we are only making a simple statement. Those who are guilty will not be spared. This is our policy. The corruption is something which we have taken it very seriously, because earlier during UPA regime, you have seen that entire party, Congress party, was known as party of fraud and fraudsters. We have taken a stand, zero tolerance on corruption, and that is something which we are pursuing. Agencies are independently working. They have certain leads. They are pursuing it. Let them investigate, find out more information. If they will not find out any information, they will not go to the court. And it is for the court to pronounce a judgment, not the Bharatiya Janata Party, or for that matter the government. They can put us in the dock, but we are not doing anything. It is the agency which is pursuing the case based on certain evidence they have received, certain information they have received, certain leads they have received. And independently they are pursuing, and we are neither direct.
At the end of the day, it is going to go to the courts, and the courts are going to give a clean sheet to whoever has been involved, whoever has been questioned, perhaps also arrested by the agencies. So what's there to fear? Takes me back to the first question I began by asking you.
There is nothing to fear. Who said that? No one is fearing. But unfortunately, it is the BJP who is trying to pass the judgment sitting there. And,
but sir, the BJP can practically not pass the judgment, is what I'm trying to ask and say and reiterate.
Exactly. That's what we are saying. Because they are ultimately the courts. And these are just the accusations. And moreover, as far the BRS is concerned, as far the Kavitas is concerned, she has made it absolutely clear that she has got absolutely no connection, no association at all. But it is the BJP time and again, because BJP believes in one thing, that one lie, if you repeat 100 times, then people will start believing that. And that is the policy of the BJP.
So you're reiterating what several in the BRS have been saying, that jumla nahi to hamla. Whenever it's election season, the BJP goes after its opposition parties by misusing agencies. And because Mithun Vijay Kumar is very well versed with the politics in Telangana, he can perhaps also explain this to us and put out his perspective. Mithun.
Yeah, Kritsween, the case, let's look at the timeline of the case. See, this case started 6 months back, and Kavita was dismissed even by CBI last December. And I believe none of the FIRs registered in this case have been quashed so far by the courts. Is Manish Sisodia's case or any other case. The cases registered are, truly based on the findings and not assumptions. So now, as per the forensic reports, the draft excise policy was accessed by almost all the accused in the case. It is mentioned in the ED's charge sheet that Manish Sisodia, he changed SIM card 6 times during this period, and various handsets were used by him in the name of others. And let's get to the facts now. There have been prima facie evidence on the violations of GNCTD Act 1991. Allow me to speak, sir. I have been so silent. I have been patiently listening to all of you. So I would like to say that there have been prima facie evidence on the violations of GNCTD Act 1991, Transaction of Business Rules 1993, Delhi Excise Act 2009 and Delhi Excise Act 2010 and 2010. And this is a report by the Chief Secretary of Delhi. So this investigation, whatever is happening now, is conducted on the basis of facts, evidences, and not just assumptions. Now, ED remand copy says 3 crucial things. Give me just 10 seconds. Give me just 10 seconds. The ED remand copy says 3 crucial things about, Kavita's interrogation. And one is that Arun Pillai, the man who has links with South Group, represents the interests of Kavita. This is said by ED.
Yes.
Rupees 1 crore was given to Arun Pillai on Kavita's instructions.
Yes. It's not like the Enforcement Directorate is making up this. These are statements that the Enforcement Directorate has depositions that the Enforcement Directorate is looking at carefully. Mithun Vijay Kumar, point taken, but the fact remains that whatever said and done, these are still allegations. They have not been proven. They're going to be taken to the court. Eventually, the court is going to come out with a final word. Till then, we can't quite jump the gun. We can't quite reach any conclusion. But there is a lot of hypocrisy at play here as well. Nobody can wash their hands of this, which also takes me back to where it all began. If nothing was wrong, all was well, and if this excise policy by the Aam Aadmi Party government was such a big hit, why were they forced to withdraw it at the end of the day? We're going to have to leave it at that. Let's see what happens tomorrow. It's going to be a very interesting day. Day after is when K. Kavita will also be questioned by the Enforcement Directorate. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the first debate this evening, which means that we move on to how